Oh my gosh, why do I always look like George Washington? True crime, what I'm watching. I haven't done one of these in a while, so I felt like I'd watched every single one available, and I found one on Hulu. It's called Still Missing Morgan. It's pretty sad though. I was telling people earlier, I don't generally get like emotionally, like watching true crime and listening to it usually doesn't, I'm not very sensitive to it, which is probably bad, but I think just from watching it and listening to it and reading it for so many years. But this one is really heartbreaking because as far as I know, she still hasn't been found. If she has, don't tell me, because I'm only on episode 2. But she was kidnapped at 6 years old from a baseball game, and it's just really tragic. I think having a niece, I've gotten more sensitive about like kid cases. So, yeah, it's interesting though. It's good. But I did want to at least mention, the event that happened in Nashville, now that I'm on the topic of kids. When I lost my first big account, a lot of you guys asked like how I was able to stay still positive about it and rebuilding the second account. And I'm getting even more questions like that now. Like, how are you, able to like come back and like not be frustrated or freaking out? And I think for me, I'm able to compartmentalize like how big this is in the grand scheme of things. Just Instagram as a whole. Yes, it's my job. Yes, it pays my bills. That part is scary. But what's scarier is like parents having to send their kids to school right now. Like I can't even imagine the pure panic and fear that has to instill. And yes, like is losing an Instagram account unfortunate? Sure, but like it's really unfortunate when, parents don't get to eat because they gave their, kids the last of their food for that day or that week. Or for me, I'm able to put it in a different part of my brain that's like, this is not the end of the world. This is not, there's so many other things that are, if this is the worst thing that happens to me, that I have to keep making Instagram accounts, then I consider myself very lucky and very blessed. So to answer a lot of you guys that are saying like, why is this happening? How are you not freaking out? I guess, challenge you and encourage you. And I do appreciate all of that, but I do challenge you and encourage you to kind of think about like, why are some of the other things happening? And just remembering that Instagram is not the end all be all. And there's so many people hurting right now that need so many thoughts and prayers. And like I said, I don't want to come off like ungrateful because I absolutely appreciate all of you guys, all of your messages and your comments. You guys are seriously rock stars and you make this job fun. You make me want to come back and make another account. So I really do thank you guys for that. But I guess basically to answer that question, there's so many bigger things going on, and I know that there's so many people hurting way worse than I am because, my Instagram got taken away. So I guess I compartmentalize it like that. And, at the end of the day, I could go do something else if I had to. So I'm like, just having that option it's always an option. And for some people, like they don't get an option to have their child back or their spouse back or their job back. Or I guess that's just kind of how I make it work in my brain.